Hello, and welcome to another wonderful episode of the D Hope podcast. It is a lovely day today. Hello to you, Hope.
Yes, hello.
And today we're going to be talking about just some stuff. It's me and Hope today. We're gonna
Yeah.
Anger is gonna filter in somewhere because I had a thought about anger um, as we were going through. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah.
But as we were, as I facilitate a class on Monday mornings, and we were in the topic of anger, and it's what is the name of the thing? Well, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, we were in the topic talking about anger, the dynamics of anger is what it is, anger dynamics. And so one of the scriptures that came to my mind while I was in that study um, was Ephesians 4 in the actual session that I was doing, because I think I wound up doing like two of them. But Ephesians 4, and I'm gonna look it up so I can say it, um, and it be accurate, and I not just be going just strictly off my memory. And I think I want to read it out of the New King James Version. Yeah. So Ephesians 4:26, verses 26 and 27. So and this is under the heading about do not grieve the spirit. So I'll just start at 25, verse 25, and go through verse 27. So therefore, putting away lying, let each one of you speak truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another. Verse 26, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath. Verse 27, nor give place to the devil. So that end part on verse 27, nor give place, or with the whole part, nor give place to the devil. So in my class that I was facilitating, I spoke about how that if we undealt with anger, and how it's a deceptive thing if we are unwilling to even admit that we're angry. And I see
Mm.
that a lot of times in what I get to do on a daily basis, that sometimes people are, oh, well, I'm not an angry person, or I don't get mad. I don't, um, and it's like, well, something has probably caused you to be mad at some point.
Everybody gets angry.
Everybody gets angry. Like uh it's a natural
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so that has, caused me to think, because I thought about my own, life, and
Yeah.
how I was that person too, like, because I am a just naturally kind of mild mannered person.
Mm-hmm.
um I shut down. I would shut down. So my natural response to a lot of things was freezing. So, with the fight, flight, or freeze, or in the other words that they've added. But my kind of response, the old self response, was freeze. You shut down. You don't check on it. You don't. It's like it just didn't happen. And
Mm-hmm.
that was very terrible for me. That was a very terrible way for me to handle things, because I wasn't handling things. And so a part of my experience was I didn't I had heard this scripture, this three scriptures, I had heard them wrong. So I didn't think I could be angry. But clearly he says in verse 26, be angry, just don't sin in it. And so for a long time as well, I can't be angry. So if something is upsetting to me, I can't acknowledge it, which was a lie, which was harming me horribly. And so when I started reading the Bible myself and I saw this, and then I see verse 27, nor give the place to the devil. So undealt with anger gives him that foothold to get in there and to wreak havoc in our lives. And I'm like, what a deceptive thing.
That's good.
That you would want me to believe that I can't be mad, even when the thing is something that I should be mad about. You know, like
That's
it's,
good.
yeah, that was offensive, or that was, and here I am walking around thinking I can't be mad. And then I've encountered people who like absolutely will refuse
Yeah.
to
to
admit.
show anger or be angry. I
Mhm.
think too, it's internalized, and I can say this from my own experience because I know we've talked and I've asked you certain questions from my behavior, and you have responded that was, I think, anger.
Mhm.
And I know that anger was like a stronghold, which
Yeah.
was internalized and came out externally, especially when I was getting high back a few years ago. Now it kind of maybe manifests itself in different behaviors sometimes.
Yeah.
um, but I'm glad that you said that it's okay to be angry because I think it's okay to feel your emotions, just don't stay stuck in it.
Right. Right. And that's if we're if it's something that we can move through, like, but we gotta at first be able to acknowledge that it exists in
Yeah.
order for us to even be able to deal with it. And so I think a lot of times too, when we haven't been used to feeling at all, like we're unwilling, either we're unwilling or something, but we're just not feeling at all. And we, oh, well, I'll just, well, that, that was, I just let it go. Like, no, let's, well, what did you let go, and where did it go to? And I think I've said that,
You
here
said, where did it
before.
go? You said, where did it go to? Where did
Yeah.
it go?
Where did it
Let
go?
it
If you,
go. Where did it go?
did you put it, somewhere specifically? But it's amazing to me that, like, when that light bulb kind of went off for me, of the deception that's in the us not even acknowledging the fact. But it's like anger is it's a natural thing. We all have it. We all deal with it, because we live in this world where things upset us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with the anger that I feel? So, okay,
How do
let
you
me.
suggest when there's something that is making you angry? You know, sometimes feelings are not factual, so not everything may be facts. You know that.
Yes. Yes.
But I think acknowledging it and being able to recognize, okay, do I need to work? You know, this is obviously, if it's prompting anger and a response from me, this is something I need to work through. So, how
Yes.
do you suggest working through things that make us angry without being aggressive or letting it take foothold in other areas of our lives?
So the first thing is to, I think, putting your feelings on trial, like you just mentioned. We can't always just trust what we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anger has many different words that can describe it.
Yeah.
So I could be agitated, I could be irritated, I could be disgusted, I could be, there's so many, it's multifaceted. And it's a number one, we know it's anger is a secondary to something.
Yeah.
So like by it being a secondary uh thing that I'm feeling, what's the real deal? So I had to even look underneath the anger. So I
Yeah.
think that's the second step, is you getting honest with yourself about, like, so say if, I don't know, I'll use this as an example. Like, okay, say you and I are we're just sitting somewhere, and we're having lunch or something, and I just decide for whatever reason to reach across the table and just hit you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there are several ways that you can respond to that, right?
Mhm.
Probably the first thing is going to be kind of like shock, like, because if we're
Yeah.
just sitting there having lunch, why on earth would I need to reach over uh, and do that? So whatever your reaction to that is, like, so, okay, let's say it's anger, right? Now what you could do is reach over and hit me back, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be a reaction to happen, right?
Mhm.
Or, you could try to reason with me. Well, why would you do that? You
Mhm.
know, oh, you know what? I don't know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know what came over me. So I apologize. You accept that, we move on, right? But you could be like, no, I don't accept your apology. And I don't understand why you did that. Da 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 da. It can go on. And then I get even more angry because you won't accept my apology for
Mhm.
hitting you.
Yeah.
Um, so what I need to deal with is, why did I do that in the first place?
Yeah.
What, like, why would I just, if we're seemingly sitting there having lunch, nothing's going on, you haven't said anything out of the way to me, what rose up in me that caused me to do that? Well, it's something underneath that, because that's an anger response to reach over and slap somebody,
Yeah.
you know. um
Something's fueling that.
yeah, something's fueling that. So if I heard something that you said in a wrong manner, then I've got to reach down deep. That's my responsibility, to reach down deep and go, like, why did that, like, if what she's why did that offend me, or why did that
Mhm.
upset me? So now that's causing me to have to go back and look kind of a little bit in my history, and to check myself out. And
Yeah.
is this my reaction to a lot of things? Is to just go straight to kind of like violence. Is what fear is underneath that? Because what
Yeah.
I've found usually
It's
with
usually
anger is some sort of fear up under that.
there's like
So
a anger and iceberg, like I'm sure you've seen it before, where it
yeah,
identifies all the emotions underneath it. But yeah, fears, I think a lot of times it's fueled by fear, like insecurity,
yes,
frustration, some kind of like pain.
yes, some form of pain, need to control.
Mm-hmm.
um and so all of that is attached to some painful probably experience. And so if I'm willing to check myself and my motives, then I can get somewhere. But if I can't even acknowledge that this exists in me, you know so if I haul off and hit you and then I go, oh, I'm not mad about anything. What? Well, why did you have to hit me?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Um, that's not a sign of love, like,
Mm-hmm.
in if I've learned that, which the reality is some people have.
Yeah. Yes.
They think that violence is of well, that just means I let, no, that ain't what that means. Um, so it's like, but the bottom line is, I think putting those my feelings on trial. Is this true before I react in any type of way? What is, and then knowing what my anger responses are, or what my anger reactions are. What it do I yell? Do I curse? Do I, do I hit, like, what do I
What
punch
are the warning
walls?
signs?
Yeah, like what is my, do I shut down?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a part of it too. Not saying anything, stonewalling is what they call it. Do I
Mm-hmm.
stonewall? Do I, like, what is my response to anger, and is it appropriate? Is it the appropriate response? Because if I'm just going straight to an action, then in my mind that's not an appropriate response. I need to evaluate what I feel and then give a response.
Mm-hmm. That's good then. I think that too, that just stems it back, like one kind of knowing like it's communicating, right? Just effective
Mm-hmm.
communication. Also knowing how you communicate, like as an individual, is going to be different. Kind of just
Mm-hmm.
reminds me too of like Eric and I, which is something like I personally like it really have been trying to work on is like knowing that if there's frustration there, like identifying like I handle things differently than he does. So say that
Mm-hmm.
there's some like with the kids or whatever. Okay, like instead of there being like a huge like anger response, just realizing that hey, we both need to come together, communicate so we can come up with a solution of however we're going to well, we did it last night actually.
Awesome.
Like all right, like let's come together, let's figure out like how we can have not anything bad. I don't want people to think there's
Yeah.
like a huge, it's nothing, it's just my just parenting,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's just like coming together and recognizing like hey, like if we see something, instead of me just like going off and venting, which is normally what I would do, and I've recognized that that prompts anger in him because he doesn't want to hear me like vent, about because there's no, it's not solution based, right?
Mm,
It's me venting, which then there's okay, now you're just upset.
yeah. And how are we going to get past
Yeah, so
it?
it's like, how can we come up with a solution? However minor it is, to eliminate just different anger responses that's not going to be beneficial for nobody.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because I mean we're gonna have it. I keep saying it, but it is
mm-hmm.
acknowledging what, whether it's anger, sadness, fear, any
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
The fact that if I cannot acknowledge it, I cannot move beyond it.
mm-hmm.
And being able to communicate, like you said, communicate and communicate effectively
Yeah,
what it is I'm experiencing or
mm-hmm.
feeling. And even if I have to say to a lot of times, if people are upset, or if you see somebody crying, like,
Mm-hmm.
our natural response is we want them to, I think a lot of people, I can't speak for everybody, but I think a lot of times our natural response is that we want them to stop doing that.
I wanted to say we wanted to stop.
Yeah, we want them to stop because it's uncomfortable,
Yeah,
right? Like, and it's in, if we're being honest, my comfort is important to me.
yeah,
My comfort is important to me. So it's like, oh my gosh, that's making me uncomfortable. Please stop that. But
can you stop?
yeah, can you, oh Lord. And then it's like, then we get this burden put on us that we have to try to now
Now we got to fix it.
fix them and
Mm-hmm.
help them, instead of what if my first reaction, response, or whatever, to their tears is to just let them cry?
Mm-hmm.
What if that's my first response? Just let them cry, and then ask, is there anything that I can do for you?
Mm-hmm.
Not try to stop them, not try to rescue them from it. Not, is there anything that I can do for you? Then whatever their response is to me, do that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
good.
what if we operated like that? Like, doesn't matter if I'm uncomfortable, doesn't matter. Let me get out of my zone of comfort. and see
Mm-hmm.
if there's any way that I can assist you. And if you say to me, no, I just need to get it out, okay, why don't I let you do that? Instead of, oh, now this is a thing. Okay, like I have experienced this um at funerals.
Mm.
People, they come up, they hug you, and they start rubbing your back, and they start saying,
That
get it
makes you
out.
want to cringe.
Yeah, like they say, get it out.
Why
You
are
know,
you touching me?
yeah, just get it out. Just get it out. So now you're rushing me to get it out. Yeah. Like, what
What am I getting out? What if
like,
there's nothing to get
just
out
be
at
like,
this moment?
come on, but like, what if I just get it out? And even if I'm crying and you come up and you do that, and then you're telling me to just get it out, it's like that probably is not gonna be the last time I cry. Maybe
Yeah.
about this, like, so there is this, I need you to hurry up and be okay,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I need you to get yourself together so we can just move past
Like,
this.
and it comes out, it comes out as caring, right? It's
Yeah,
as loving,
but
but
I think
it's
it goes back to what you just said. Like it's everybody is like we're selfish human beings at our core. And
yeah,
so like we want to protect like what makes us uncomfortable. So like if
yeah,
you're I want to help fix you because you need to stop that. It's making me uncomfortable. So let's get you well.
yes, you mess with my
Stop that
homeostasis.
crying or get it out quickly, okay?
Yeah, like just let it out, like it's like,
That could be
man,
beneficial though with anger too. I think what you said though is like if someone is angry, letting them just be, which I've been doing this too with my kids, especially
yeah,
because they have all of these emotions and hormones. And sometimes I'm just like, I just stare and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to let you just be for a minute.
yeah, like, well,
Like,
okay,
is there something I can do? Bentley's
yeah,
really quick to be like, "No, you can't help me." Okay, good.
all
Then you
right.
just go be, and you'll be fine in 10 minutes.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, I'll let you be, and if you think of something, let me know.
Yeah,
you know if you
that's
think of
right.
something that I can do, let me know.
Yeah,
And I think just giving people the freedom,
yeah,
the freedom to be whoever they are, whenever they are, however they are, in that moment, without me trying to force you to do anything. And that's
that's
even in the acknowledgement. Like, if you just don't want to acknowledge whatever you're feeling, I can't force you to do that.
yeah,
uh, as much as I may want to, I can't force you to do that. And so because I can't force you, it's like, okay, then, if you think about it, if you think about it and you realize something different, and there's something I can help you with, then let me know.
yeah.
Because that, I think that puts the responsibility back on them. Because I'm not responsible for how you are, your thinking. I'm not responsible for your actions. I'm not even
Mhm.
responsible for how you feel.
Yeah.
But we take on that responsibility a lot.
Mhm.
And we're not even, sometimes we're not practicing that.
Mhm.
We're not practicing taking responsibility for our own thoughts, feelings, and actions.
Yeah.
Um,
You're
but
right.
we want other people to.
Mhm.
And so it's like, no, let me practice doing this myself.
Yeah.
And then if I can help you, then I can help you.
Yeah.
But I need to be first practicing it myself. So it's a huge thing for me. I've been learning a lot about myself over the past uh few months here, a lot about stuff that I don't like, uh
Yeah.
especially when it came to like dealing with feeling, um and just wanting to hurry up and be done with feeling, feeling things, which I think I had gotten better at about the whole freezing thing, not freezing, and
Mm.
just not dealing with stuff. And so as I go through and have to deal with just, life, dealing with life, I've learned, I'm like, oh man, like um I don't like to be angry.
Yeah.
It's just not a fun emotion for me. I don't
But are
like
you
it.
allowing yourself to feel anger now? Because I know you have said that you're like I, because you are very, very like even killed. Like you're very
Yeah.
nothing. It takes. I think feel like it takes a lot to like get you like frustrated.
Yeah.
But when
Yes.
it does happen, I'm sure. I don't think I've ever seen you really frustrated. I don't know, but I'm sure when it does happen, it is it explosive. I don't know. Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
It is very explosive, which is why which is
You're like, this is
why
why I have to address
I
it.
have to address it, because if I don't, it's very explosive, very uncharacteristic of
Yeah.
me at all. It is. I've been told it's scary, is what I've been
Yeah.
told.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I don't know, I don't like that, like I don't
Like I
want to
don't like
be,
that trait that comes
yeah,
out.
I don't want to be a scary person. And so, but it's like I have to deal with it. And so when I do get angry, it causes me to question the why. Like what's really going on here? Because often the thing that I think I'm angry at is not it at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's like, nah,
It's
that is not it. And now what I've learned is that I know the difference. Like some things are just straight out, you're gonna know why that made you upset,
yeah, of course.
like, so it's like if somebody just came and stumped on my toe and my foot was in a cast,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
didn't see the cast, like, and you came and just stomped on my toe. Like you looked
Mhm.
me in my eye and stomped on my toe. Like that,
Yeah.
that seems like it has a purposeful intent behind it, right? So that may cause anger to rise up, right? But like if it's something that is like I have an overreaction to something, then that's the kicker for me. It's like I
Yeah. If
overreacted.
it's exaggerated, I always say if there's an
Yeah,
exaggerated response, then that's
yeah.
when you kind of need to look further
Underneath.
into like why are
Yeah.
you responding in a manner that doesn't warrant that response?
Yes. So it's like, man, that was really over exaggerated. So
Mhm.
why was that? And then when I dig, dig
Yeah.
around, and the way that I dig is through prayer,
Mhm.
because God knows everything about me, even the hidden parts. Um, and I'm like, why was that the reaction to that? Or even if it wasn't an outward reaction, the inside, it's like,
Yeah.
hmm, something was rising up there that I don't think was going to be the right response.
Mhm.
So why was that the feeling? And what I'm beginning to understand about emotions, because I've just been looking into it more, because emotions and feelings, I get that question. uh I have gotten it in the past, and I kind of looked into it, but not a whole lot. I'm like, they seem it because I know they seem interchangeable, but I also know that they're not.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, I know they're not the same, but they're not the same thing, because I was like, but often they're viewed as the same thing.
Mhm.
And so just in my looking up that information, it's like emotions are more of our physical reaction to the
Mhm.
external or internal stimulus. And feeling is just what we call it.
Mhm.
The internal, or the reaction. So it's like, okay, so the emotion is more physical, the feeling is just the name of it.
Mhm.
And I was reading something actually yesterday that talked about emotion usually showing up in our face.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually and so which is why it makes sense that people say, "Oh, my face talks before I do."
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, you're that's the emotion coming before the actual name of whatever's going on. And so when we hear people, talk about like, oh, they're an emotional person, or what they're probably saying is, I can see outward
Mm-hmm.
before you even say what you're feeling. um and so that when, like, that
I
often
can
comes
see
up.
it on your face. I always
Yeah,
say you can see. I may not say
yeah,
what I don't say what I'm thinking a lot of times because I can be pretty quiet and reserved.
yeah.
But like if you catch me at the right time and look at my facial expression,
You
I'm
can
sure
see it.
it will say it.
It's sad. It's like, ooh. And so that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I have worked on for a while is
Your face.
kind of my poker face. Yeah,
Yeah, your
like kind of, yeah, not allowing my face
mhm.
or my body language
Yeah.
to speak before I do. Um and I think that it's a good thing to work on it. Not that I'm just like, with poker, it's I'm trying to trick you, right? It's not that I'm
Yeah.
trying to trick you. I would rather use my words than you having to try to interpret my body language or my face. Like,
Mhm.
if like, I can just say it, and to me that goes back to the verse 25 in Ephesians, where he's like, let's not lie, let's deal honestly with our neighbor.
Yeah.
Let's deal honestly with our neighbors. And I find it interesting that he said that before he said be angry,
Yeah.
because we
Well, I
lie
think
about being angry.
too, if you're in a room or you're having conversation with someone, you're not cannot always be present, right? There could be
Mm-hmm.
other things going on personally or whatever. So they may be trying to interpret your body language and try to read you while unfortunately you may be somewhere else in your head. So your
Yes.
body language or your facial is not actually lining up with maybe the conversation they're having with you
Right.
when you're thinking about something else.
Yes. So
Mhm.
misinterpret it, right?
Mhm.
So how often does that happen?
A lot.
A
Text
lot.
messages, I'm not word Eric, I don't know who was it that told me because you can tell how somebody you'll get used to how somebody texts. And
Yeah.
I am terrible about like just doing like I mean, I'm like, at this point, you just have to interpret what I'm saying
Yeah.
because it's like one lines or whatever, like whatever I'm thinking is usually just how it's text. And
Text.
some people are more like, all right, I'm going to give you everything, and it might be a couple of sentences. So I
Yeah.
think too, like things can be misinterpreted, like the tone of things through how text messages are relayed.
Yes. Because I often say that I can see your tone from the
Yeah.
text. I can see your tone from the text.
Yeah.
Um, or like, like if somebody's all capping me,
Yeah.
well, what you mad about?
Yeah.
Like, are you upset? Are
Yeah.
is
Are you
for me,
upset?
it has to be I work towards it being a question, not
Yeah.
an assumption.
Yeah.
Like, you maybe you forgot, maybe you didn't recognize that it was on all caps. But it's
Mhm.
like, to me, you're speaking loudly to me,
You're
and I
speaking
want to
loud, and I'm
understand.
taking a very
Yeah.
attentive nature to this. So
Yeah.
fix your fix your texting.
Yeah, why are you speaking loudly to me? In that. And so that is a good thing. It's like that sometimes our body language and our
Mhm.
words may not be, because of that. Like, I may be somewhere else, and like I've gotten that at times too before, like, because if I'm in deep thought,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I have a furl.
Mhm.
And I have often been like just walking down the street, and people go, "What you mad about?" People I don't know these people, never met them before a day in my life,
Mhm.
and their assumption is like, they see this face, and it's she's mad.
Yeah.
And then like when they say that, and I, like kind of, then I, they go, there it is. There's a smile. And it's like, oh no, I'm not mad about anything. I was thinking, like I
Yeah.
was in deep thought. And so it was like, oh, and I don't know, I can't tell you how many times that has happened. Uh, that had happened to me. And so I was like, I got to start paying attention to what my body is doing, because I
Yeah.
wasn't at the time, because I was like, why people keep thinking I'm mad,
Mhm. Where I
um
get like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm fine." I'm like, sorry. Was I my face like saying something different? Like, I'm good. I was
yeah,
just maybe just thinking about something, and it
yeah,
probably wasn't anything. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
yeah. And I think that goes into us thinking about what we're thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like what am I thinking on? And because obviously that may affect
Mm-hmm.
what I'm sure it does affect what the outer is doing.
Yeah.
Because usually when I would be in deep thought like that, it would be over, I would be trying to figure out something.
Yeah.
Like there was an issue, and I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm coming up with nothing.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't
causing
have
me
the
to,
answer.
have this kind of like, because it was more of a, to me, is more of a, like, what am I gonna, like, the concern, but it was
Mm-hmm.
coming off as anger. So it's like, no, I'm not mad, but that has helped me in thinking about what I'm thinking about, and what is causing me to have the outer not match the
Well,
inner.
I looked up I love the book of Proverbs, but in Proverbs
Mm-hmm.
19:11 it says good sense makes one slow to anger, and it is
Oh yeah.
his glory to overlook an offense. So just being slow to anger, and being
Yes.
able to maybe not take things, so personally all the time. Kind of going back to how some things are just misinterpreted. And if things
Yes.
are making you angry, it's just being able to look, and identify what it is. Why is it making you angry? And
Yes.
how can I address this?
Yes. And overlooking an offense, an offense that can be overlooked. Like,
Mm,
do I need to make a big deal out of everything?
that's
It's,
good. I'm
yeah.
learning that because I'm like, is that really? Yeah, is that
Yeah.
something that that I want to like get upset about? Like I've started doing this. I'm like, all right. No, no, I don't. I'm like, I don't have the mental. This is so that I'm like, I don't have the mental capacity right now. So no,
To be offended.
no,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to be.
Yeah, because we can choose it. We can
Yeah.
choose to be offended or not be offended.
Hmm.
And that is a major way to handle anger and to curb it, really. Because it's like, I don't have to be offended by that, because there's so much already in the world that people are
Hmm.
mad about a lot of stuff.
Everything.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what, I don't have to choose to be offended. And I can number one, I can forgive. um I don't, um it doesn't mean that I'm not going to forget what happened, especially if it was a tremendous offense, but I'm going to forgive it. i'm going to um I'm going to choose, first of all, not to be offended. I'm going to
Hmm.
forgive, because that aids in me forgiving.
Hmm.
um and then, if there's call for further discussion, or anything that needs to be done to maybe rectify something, then I have to do that too. But if not, then I can truly say I can move on, because it's a done deal. And it's not going to, even if it comes up in my thinking, it's not going to aggravate me,
Mm, that's good.
because it's I'm not offended. I've forgiven. It's over and it's done with.
Mm-hmm. You just make a choice. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm choosing right now to. I've already dealt with that. And
Yeah.
that's another way, like not allowing the devil to have that stronghold, because
Mm-hmm.
that's areas in your life where I feel like it can be minor, and I think we tend to kind of overlook areas like such as anger and our emotions. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the strongholds. That's where it takes
Yeah.
root, because if we hold on to that, usually it comes out in actions externally. I feel like it's going to be like a poison, like going back to like addiction and things like that, but or any kind of like pain or anything you're
Mm-hmm.
internalizing. Eventually, if it's not addressed properly, it comes out externally in behaviors that are negative, that's not going to serve you, serve the people around you. And that's the strongholds, and that's where
Mm-hmm.
it starts to wreak havoc. And
Yes.
so it's just a work in a work in
Yeah.
progress,
We're a work
right?
in progress. Yeah. We're a work in progress, and ideally every day we're making that progress.
Yeah.
But bottom line, deal honestly with yourself, and you can deal honestly with your neighbor.
Oh,
It,
that's
it
good.
admit what you need to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. Just acknowledge it and learn how to handle it so that
Yeah.
it's not handling you.
Oh, that's a good way to put an ending to it, but it's
Yes.
acknowledging, things that are in your life, and then you don't have to worry about taking offense with your neighbor or anyone else,
Mm-mm.
because if I'm okay with me and the decisions I'm making, then I'm not going to be in offense to whatever you're choosing or not choosing to do or say.
Yes. Right. Because it's that's on you. It's none of my
Yeah.
business. It's
You did? Okay. You want to come say hi real quick? We're ending the podcast, but
who we
hi.
got? Hey, how you doing?
Good. Hey, we're
What you
doing.
up
You
to?
want to? All right. So we're about to end it, but we're talking about just anger today. Kind of like, how do we navigate just emotions and feelings? How do you feel like you want to answer it?
No,
You don't want to?
I don't.
All right. You don't have to.
He's
Bye.
like, nah.
Love you.
He's like,
I
yeah,
felt
no.
I was like a hit or miss. Maybe I'd
Yeah.
get a response after. He smiled real big.
Yeah. He was like, nah, I don't want to talk about it today.
Yeah, he was like, no. He was like, I'm 11. I don't know how to. I don't know how to handle it. Like I said, work in progress.
And we all are.
Yes,
I'm still learning.
I'm still learning. You know what I found is like parenting is so difficult, because like it's like I see things. This is one of the conversations I was having like last night. It's like I go into like protective mode of wanting to like protect my kids, and I'll be like talking about things. And what I've recognized is that stems from undealt with things that I've experienced. And I
Yes.
want to protect them, but it's like they have their own experiences. So quit
Yes.
trying, it's a control. So quit trying to control their outcome. That's
Mm-hmm.
not for you to do, right?
Do. Mm-mm.
That's for God.
Yes, and that's like one of the best things that you can realize, like the
Yeah.
realization of that. Like I have zero control over the outcomes of not just my children, but anybody. Like
Yeah.
I cannot control this. Like when we are able to acknowledge that and understand that the only thing literally that you can control is
Hmm.
your choice to believe or not to believe. Like that
Yeah.
really is when it comes down to
Yeah.
it. It really is your that's everything else.
That's it. You know?
Yeah. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna put myself and everything that I love or am concerned about or whatever. in the hands of the one who can handle it,
Yeah.
who knows.
Like,
He
just
knows.
give it to
Yeah.
Jesus. He's the only one that can handle it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like once, and there goes into communication too. But I feel like just the weight is lifted
Mm-hmm.
after I've been trying to practice, just really, even if it's some things because like I'll be like, oh, that seems really irrational right now. But I'm like, if I can talk about it and like I can understand too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm able to process things. So I guess that goes just back to like therapy, right? Being able to just talk about it, it allows you to
Yes.
process things too and be able to like, all right, this is like something that only God right now, God can handle this. I'm trying to control things,
Yeah.
fix things, that it's not for me. That's a burden that I don't need to take on.
Right. And I'm like, if his word is true,
Mhm.
I'm either gonna believe him or not believe
Yeah.
him. That's what I can control, whether I believe or not believe. And so it's like I'd rather believe, and I don't care how many times a day that I have to tell myself, no, no, only believe. Only believe. Like, because I think that's just a natural part of us, is to try to fix and control what we can, but it's like,
Mhm.
I mean, I really, there's
So little.
so little that
So
I
little.
can control. And so it's like knowing the fact that there's a very there's minimal stuff that I control, and it really just boils down to I can control whether I believe or not,
Yeah.
whether I trust or not. That's really what I have control over.
Mhm.
And so with that, I
Yep.
just choose to believe. I choose to
Choose to
trust
believe and trust, because in trusting God, He can help you navigate these anger, these
these
emotions, these
these
feelings.
and everything in
Um,
between. All of my
yep.
relationships, and not getting bent out of shape because they're not doing exactly what I want them to do. They're not,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like they're not going to.
Never. Ever.
It's like they're
Yeah.
not going to do exactly what I want them to do
Yeah.
all of the time.
Mhm.
It could happen, they could do something that I wanted them to do. And that's beautiful when that happens, but it's
Yeah.
not going to happen all the time, nor should I expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, that is all we have for you today. We'll have somebody on when we come back on, um, and we'll talk to them about their life history and what they have going on.
Yep.
But
Thank
until
you.
next time, see you later.